Hello everyone, welcome back to PB Talks. Today I have with me Vineet from the Fanspire. Make sure to check their channel. Their link I have the channel name I have tagged in the title of this video. You can click that. It takes you straight. That doesn't even take you off this video. Obviously, the Fanspire they do weekly content for all teams, not just specific teams alone. They do also football, Serie A, La Liga. For all teams they cover, and make sure you got to subscribe to them. And I've got a fellow Chelsea fan here to rant with me. And we probably should have done this rant about 14 hours ago because so I'll tell you the sequence what happened. So it's one of those days when you randomly get up at 4:30 in the morning. So I woke up and I randomly saw my phone and messages were flying left, right, and center. And I was like, what the hell is happening? And then got a message on the fifth time saying club statement. I was like, please don't tell me this is Tuchel getting sacked. And that was literally it. I couldn't sleep. I know you messaged me then because we wanted to run back then itself, but it's kind of been bottled up. And to compare the rough day I've had, I've not had sleep. I've had a earful from my manager today, and I was like, "Bhai, ye week kab jaldi khatam ho gaya sale."
I mean, I understand the fact where you're coming from. Like, for you to like a worse position to not be able to sleep because you woke up at like 4:30 and then all of a sudden read some statement. While in India, I was at work. I just saw a random WhatsApp. I didn't have the Chelsea app or I wasn't on Twitter that time. So I just randomly opened my WhatsApp. I just saw somewhere, like on my smartwatch, I just saw Tuchel sack. I thought it was one of those things where people are saying ki because like how bad results are, Tuchel is going to
Yeah,
be sacked, something like that. I checked that. Someone had sent the Twitter link. I went to that page. I again went to Chelsea's page. I just thought that might still be the fake news. I went to Chelsea's official page. I went on their website, everything. And then I was like, how the hell is this happening? Because, see, the news, everything what was coming in, right? It's been 14, almost 14 hours. We
yeah,
thought that we would still be able to process it. It's
yeah,
not. And, like being Tuchel, so he's that kind of persona who immediately connected with the fans because as a fan of Chelsea, I was used to getting managers sacked and everything, and then especially when a hero like Lampard also got sacked. Yes, we understood the logic behind it, but players were also not up to the mark. That time also we spoke about it. So I had decided that we are not like me and my brother decided we are not going to get emotionally attached to any manager, regardless of who comes in. Then Tuchel comes in, I like okay, good enough. I was doubting him at first because of the whole PSG saga and stuff. Doubting him at first. He comes in, proves everyone wrong, everyone in the world wrong. Wins the Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup, everything. And the worst part is, he he was a Chelsea guy. Like he would have left last season itself when the whole Abramovich saga, Russian saga was going on. He could have left easily. No one would have blamed him at all. He chose
facts.
to stick around the club in their tough times, along with the players. He took everything onto him and not the club, even when he didn't want it personally. He's a football coach, not some politician. The way he was asked questions, but he handled himself brilliantly. He stayed with the club even through the transition. And this sacking just doesn't make sense to me as of now. I hope Todd has some long-term plan. What he's trying to replicate again and again. What everyone is saying right now that Todd Bowley has a long-term plan and Tuchel didn't fit in his long-term plan and Tuchel isn't fitting in those things. I respect that fact. He thinks Tuchel doesn't fit. He fell out with a few players. I understand that. Then why would you fucking spend 200 plus million? Why would you spend? Forget about. There are rumors that since the preseason is going on, all right, since the whole Ronaldo thing, that was one of the biggest things what happened because Tuchel said directly no, and then Tuchel wanted delete and Todd couldn't get that in. Again, a bit more difference between both of these guys. Then why would you still go on and spend so many? And last few days of the transfer window, you go and spend on Fofana, you go and spend on Aubameyang, Zakaria. Why would you do that then? If you don't want to, if you don't want that managing. So it's like absolutely making no sense to me right now.
I mean, when you said connection with the manager, even I was like that same situation. I was at that point when we sacked Ancelotti because just the season before we did the double, the first Premier
Yeah.
League and FA Cup double in our entire history, and he was, and even before that, he was a legendary manager. He won stuff with AC Milan, Champions Leagues, and whatnot. And I kind of set in my mind that I was not going to get emotionally attached to any manager. I was kind of when Mourinho came back for the second time, because obviously the first season happened and I mean we didn't win, but second season we just went on a madness. And when he got sacked in 2015-16, albeit it had to come. I knew it was coming because the way we were going, it was bound to happen. But when it happened, all of us we were like, "What the hell are you doing, Roman?" And it was a 10-minute meeting, 10-minute or 2-minute meeting,
Same,
something.
same
Just 10
now.
minute Roman said, "Bye, thank you."
Todd Bowley gave a call to Tuchel for I think 10 minutes, said that bro, you're not the person right now. Forget about it, you're leaving the club. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
and we connected with Tuchel instantly, and it was like first training session, pish pash posh. I mean, we made like most passes in a game, and we were like, wow, he does one training session. He makes such a difference. But then again, it begs the question that, oh, is it just the players? Because we have seen this with many clubs. The players, you get a new manager bounce, you get to go on a nice honeymoon period, you get a few runs, good run of results, you win some trophies, and then 1.5 years later, the players go back to their true selves and they throw the manager under the bus.
yeah,
And
like, absolutely I agree with you.
even the thing is like the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing, Tuchel being back, it's like 260 million something, 260 million. We've given this guy, and we check it. We check, we sack Marina. It's like Todd Bowley wants to make his own stamp in the team. I mean, I get you want to make your own stamp in the team, but I think this sacking was coming for a while because the fact that we are almost hired Graham Potter, it's within hours. I mean, we know it's not easy just to search for coaches and they have to accept, especially the likes of Potter. I mean, he's doing well at Brighton despite losing Basuma and Cucurella. Why would he even want to leave there? The fact that we are even almost done with him says that he hasn't wanted Tuchel for a while and he wanted Graham Potter.
So exactly, like if you wanted that, I as a fan would respect that fact. Okay, if Tuchel believes that he was sacked too early, I still understand that. But then if Tuchel wasn't in your plans, why would you back him so much? Go to pre-season. You could have had a conversation with him. The moment the whole Ronaldo saga, I think by the time Ronaldo thing came out, and Czech leaving and everything. I think Czech leaving was one of the most important things
Yeah,
because Czech was the guy who was coordinating or the middle person who was coordinating with the board and Tuchel and his team.
yeah, exactly.
So there was something to go about. All of a sudden, Czech leaves. There's a big barrier. Tuchel has to step in and do everything on his own. He's not used to that freedom. I'm not blaming Tuchel right now. It was a club situation, and probably he had to do something like that. And he did it well. He was in conversation with Todd again and again. He he hardly had a preseason. Tuchel hardly had a preseason. He admitted that as well. He admitted that he, Todd, Vedar, none of them had a preseason. The moment the season got over, no vacations. They went on with their work. Preseason came in, no signings yet. So if you had a problem there, you could have sacked him there itself before the like a go to square one. But right now, after 6 games, which proves nothing, all right, because I think it's more of a Chelsea thing right now. Like you mentioned, players perform, a new manager bounce, they perform for a manager they like, and then few criticisms, and they start going down and down and down. This wasn't happening when Mourinho was there in the first stint. The reason he lasted longer in the first stint than the second was because of the players at that time. Like there are photos circulating around, like Terry is giving that speech, and then someone is saying that Terry, Ashley Cole, Lampard, Drogba, everyone made sure that the club culture is there. If the one player is not playing, they'll make sure that the player knows. There are no leaders right now in the team. Maybe Aspilicueta, Thiago Silva would step up and tell them. But that persona which Terry or Lampard or anybody had, I don't think so. Anyone at the club has right now. So
Like
that
Rudiger left. That was one of them. I don't think.
the thing he mentioned was this policy, hire and sack thing, hire and fire thing. He said that because of Tuchel, like Tuchel gave him a second life, right? He was one of our best players, the leader along with Aspilicueta and Thiago Silva. And then all of a sudden, he was convinced that we know the Chelsea culture and he might be sacked soon. He sort of foresaw that. And all of a sudden, he's like, okay, chalo, I'm leaving because I don't know if what will happen if Tuchel leaves. So, and he was right. Like, now we don't know what is going to happen. I want to give benefit of the fact to Todd Bowley, but I really think that he has screwed up. Like, he should have done it previous, like after the end of the last season, or even now, like before the start of the season. It was still slightly this, because right now what is happening is you have not respected the person Tuchel is. That guy went through so much in the last 1 year, along with the club and his personal life. But he always put the club first. Like there was a whole thing. Like I think we couldn't. The sanctions were in place for what 3-4 months or more than that.
Something like that. Yeah.
He could have easily let players go. He could have easily just told people that, guys, I'm leaving. I can't handle this shit. He could have easily said that. Any manager would have, I think. Any
And you
manager
won't
would
even
have.
blamed him, as you said earlier.
And he just said that regardless of the fact whether we have a flight or not, I would drive a seven-seater myself for my players to get to the Champions League game. Which manager says that? And I genuinely feel he meant that because the passion he carried over there was too much. That's why there was a banner for him at Stamford Bridge, right? Because he
Exactly.
fully deserved it. And just sort of feels like one thing I've noticed, even though everyone is criticizing Tuchel and stuff, which is a given because of the start we have had, but everyone right now is sticking together saying that this has been a disgusting decision for
Except
some
Brody
reason.
Jennings.
But like majority of the Chelsea
Yeah, yeah,
fans
of
or
course. Yeah, of course.
Chelsea
Yeah.
fans, proper Chelsea fans are together in the fact that they don't understand the decision at all. The worst part is, before all this happened, the first signing Todd Bowley should have done was a director of football.
Exactly.
We have been missing that for quite a few years. Petr tried to fill that up, did a decent job,
Yeah.
but since Czech left, you had the whole preseason. That was the first signing you should have done instead of the players we have brought in. And that I just hope now that Graham Potter is coming, because apparently there is a verbal agreement and papers will be signed today.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant manager, no doubt in that. But right now, I would have preferred him staying at Brighton for his sake, for his sake, for his legacy, because he's doing damn well. He has the stability at Brighton, which I doubt he'll get at Chelsea. But if Boli is saying that, okay, let's go for a long term thing, 5 years, 6 years, let's see if that pans out. I hope it does, because Tuchel was a cup manager, everyone was saying, right?
Yeah.
He was a cup manager. But no one was complaining when we were winning the cups. No one was complaining about that. And few signings, the window just closed a week ago. Few deadline signings, 5 points off the top of the league. With I think the only consistent team in the top four right now is Arsenal, City, Brighton. You saw Liverpool's even last night's result, Champions League result.
Yeah,
As a Liverpool fan, if I was a Liverpool fan, I still wouldn't be worried whether Klopp would be sacked or not, because I know that's not their luck to do that.
exactly.
So being 5 points of the this plus the Champions League, only one game we got. We could have given him till December. We could have given him till the end of the season. There was a season where we finished 10th or 8th or 10th. What was the
10th,
position?
10th,
I
yeah,
think
the Mourinho.
Mourinho thing, and even Conte's second season, right? Where
Yeah,
he was
and
sacked towards the
Conte's
end of
second season, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, for our standards, yes, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't like
but
crisis or everything. It was still fifth, and we still won an FA Cup.
exactly. But you get my point. Like, we have had worse seasons. We have had worse seasons, and this is still shocking. Like, I don't know.
As much as strict as Roman was, at least he
He
would
would
have
have
waited till the World Cup. At least he would have waited till the World Cup.
exactly. And I'm
Because
surprised.
even for Mourinho, to the disastrous start we had, he was like, okay, let's give it a bit more time, let's wait. And then it really got to a point where we were like, we were near relegation, for God's sake. And then that was the point he was like, I'm sorry, I have to. There is no choice for me. And then Go City came and we somehow finished 10th, and it was like here and there, okay. But not just Graham Potter. Anyone who comes to Chelsea knows that they won't last for more than 2 years. I mean, I read a stat somewhere that the average life of a Chelsea manager is 2.9 years. I mean, that says it all. There is one thing that you have to perform, else you'll get sacked. But there's another thing that I know I'm gonna get sacked. Whether it's now or 2 years later, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
Like, see, what you're saying is like absolutely correct. 2.9 years. Mikel Arteta has been at Arsenal for 3 years. All before this season, the previous seasons, I think no Champions League, especially last season again. And the season previous to that, I think he was just correcting a few things. So, chalo, first season was a given.
Yeah,
Last season, he could have done something and he screwed up royally. But the club stuck by him. The players are backing him. Like, you could see in All or Nothing, the players are backing him. All those players are young. They don't have the maturity yet, but the way they are carrying themselves, the maturity they have. Youngest squad in the Premier League, youngest manager in the Premier League, but they're sticking together. And before the United game, 5 out of 5 wins, one loss, but it still doesn't. I mean, I understand it was United. United also have picked up form under Ten Hag, but it still doesn't justify you sacking someone so early on. Because you see Arteta, even last season, Arsenal were good enough. They could have finished the top four, other than the fact that they this finished, just behind Spurs because they lost to Spurs. So that's like a big thing. So Chelsea could have stuck with that.
I mean, looking at all the reports, especially the one from Ben Jacobs, who we know is a well-known journalist, and he was like, this decision is more than just the results on the pitch, because we can criticize Tuchel, and yes, we have a right to criticize Tuchel because the way he was playing and the way we were just sticking to just one way of playing. We were not great. We were creating nothing. We were just wing backs, cross and hope. We were having nothing in midfield, and it was, I don't know, man. I mean, we could have given him time, but I knew he was going to be sacked at some point, but not this early.
Like, see, obviously there were problems this season. Like, you could see that. But I just want to ask a proper Chelsea fan, did you expect miracles overnight? You go on and spend so many
I
millions,
mean, sorry, I'll
and
just interrupt here. I mean, no proper Chelsea fan this season would say that wherever we would even go close to a title challenge.
exactly. I don't think so. Our expectations for a title in the first season itself, we go on to spend 200 million, right? I mean, it's you see City. We expected Liverpool to be somewhere like they are in a bad patch right now, but we expected City to be there. We expected Newcastle to be there, not for the title, but in the top four race. For the sole fact they spent so much, right? But they had a manager last season who literally changed the whole team, and now you can see the results again as well because you have been back. Tuchel has been back with his players, with his everything. Given that the first six games were, I think, other than the Tottenham one, it's like I don't think so. Any fan will also say that we deserve to win any game, other than the Spurs game. But you think the tactics have almost been the same in each game, right? Fans wanted four at the back because the attack was suffering. We played four at the back. Our
It turned
defenders
out
could not
even
cope up.
worse.
Our, our midfielders could not hold. Jorginho is getting walked past. Our four defenders are sort of like creating so much space between them that anybody is able to make the runs. Then again he goes to three at the back, right? Again attack suffers because three and five at the back is not supposed to be for that. It's supposed to just solidify the defense code. The reason we won the trophies when he came in was because he solidified the defense. Otherwise, I think we were a free scoring team in Lampard under Lampard. But defense, like we had to literally outscore the opponent. That is not Chelsea. That is not at all Chelsea. Chelsea is known for frustrating the opponents by a good defense, a brilliant defense, which we were
What
doing
is
under
Chelsea?
Mourinho. Yeah,
That's a good old Chelsea we know.
we were doing that under Ancelotti. We were doing that under Conte first season, and obviously Tuchel's. But the same players this season and the last, for some reason, have gone out of form. See, I'm not blaming the players. This few players were played out of position. I agree with that. I agree with that. But you need to step up even in that thing. Like I don't think Ruben Loftus-Cheek was one of the guys who criticized Tuchel. Even though from a holding midfielder, he made him a wingback, and we appreciated that move because of what Loftus-Cheek gave us. He was brilliant as a wingback. So it's
That
just
was
for the
one
other
game though. I mean, he was brilliant against Tottenham, but next game Leeds, Tuchel played the same team and we got hammered.
because of the space in midfield, the press of theirs. It's a different thing. But
Exactly.
I
And the thing we clearly we wanted is a DM because we know that Kante, his legs are done. He's been a fantastic player, a superb player, but he has been injury stricken. And ever since, I would say, ever since the Sari season, we have not managed him properly. Even Tuchel last season went on record and said that we have not managed Kante correctly. And that clearly shows. And Jorginho as a holding midfielder, no chance because he's getting run past is very easily. It's like sometimes, any evidence to show that the Southampton second goal, man's getting run past and he's not even there.
this is where
Gallagher is not a number six. Ruben
this
Loftus-Cheek
is
is
the
number
only
six.
part
We needed a number six, and it took the last day of the season to sign Dennis Zakaria, who is also injury prone.
yeah, like this is the only part I would blame Tuchel. I think the only part because he knows that you need a DM. He has gone out on record to say that we need a holding midfielder. I would have preferred if he would have kept Gilmore, or if chalo, Gilmore was sold again. Todd Bowley backed that decision. I don't know why he backed that decision because Tuchel said that he's not in his plans. If you had made up your mind about sacking him, why would you even sell a player?
Exactly.
Who Graham Potter was ready to sign at Brighton, now he's coming to Chelsea without Gilmore. Like he would have played with Gilmore there. But you had Gilmore, you had Ampadu. One of them could have slotted as a DM. That is the part. Like Havertz is being played out of position. Absolutely agree with the fact. But other than that, I don't think so. I can blame Tuchel anywhere because the basic things. Even in the Champions League game, if you could see, like I just watched the highlight because I missed it, but you're not able to make a 5 yard pass. The players are not able. Which coach is supposed to correct these basics? A 5 yard pass, a 10 yard pass. Come on, you're. I think you or someone had message. Jorginho in the 98th minute is giving a back pass. We are 1 and down. I don't care if your legs don't have the power for a long ball. Just put it in. Just put it in. We are 1 nil down. Even others like see again. I'm not blaming the players as such, but for some reason, maybe Tuchel was a bit harsh on them, and that was the reason players were also falling out with him, and they were actually scared to do something which would be slightly a risky thing, if you may call it, like a long ball, a through ball, something like that, because that went completely out of the game. All we are doing is passing side to side. Hope the Rechames or Chilwell or Cucurella, whoever's on the other side, is free. They'll put the good cross in and we'll score. Because we are not creating anything through the center. Nothing. Why? Because there are no through balls, no long balls coming in, no players ready to drop in.
And Zagreb
All
knew that.
exactly,
They
and they use
literally
it to
park
their
everything in the
advantage.
middle.
Exactly. At this instance, so that Vince's account, Vince Footy on Twitter. So I was just going through his analysis, and PSG were taking half spaces the same night after our match, like Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. So they were between the midfield and the defense line, whereas our attackers, including the full wing backs, which is five right now, we attack with five players. All our five players are hugging the defenders shoulder to shoulder. The, I mean, if that is coached, fine. I give that benefit of the doubt to the players. But you have to realize that there are some decisions which need to be taken on the pitch. No one can teach you how to make a run. It's instinct. No one, I don't think so. Guardiola just goes and tells Haaland, bro, you need to run like this because this is our game. I don't think so. You see Haaland dropping in, you see Haaland making the runs behind, he'll stick with the defender as well. For that De Bruyne cross which he scored in the last game week, he was at the far post all of a sudden. And he was the one who dropped in and created that move. That is what we thought Lukaku would be. Again, I'm just getting back to Lukaku. I think
That is what
Fateh and
that is what even Harry Kane does. The reason why he's been scoring so much goals, the reason why he's been winning even assists.
And since Harry Kane started doing that, I think he started doing that under Mourinho more than any other
Yeah.
manager. But he has been doing that since he became a player for Spurs, dropping in. And then all of a sudden, when Mourinho came, it just enhanced the whole thing.
Yeah. He ended up
But
top goal scorer and top assist maker that season.
but even after that, Ryan Mason comes in, Conte comes in. He's still doing the same thing. Three different
Apart from when
managers,
Nuno was
three
there and he
different
kind of went on
tactics.
strike
But
to leave to Man City, apart from that small period under Nuno.
exactly, but it's the same thing, right? Like three different managers, Harry Kane is still doing that. Why? Because it's his instinct. Everyone knows what he's going to do. If I'm watching on TV, I know he's going to drop it. But other players need to back that up as well. So that is where I think on-field decisions of our team sort of were hampered. I don't know whether it was Tuchel being too harsh on them when they make a mistake, or something of the players' mentality, or what. But I don't know. Because this season, Mount hasn't been himself. Havertz hasn't been himself yet. Because it's understandable. Havertz never picks up in the first half of the season. Koulibaly, apart from the first two games, has been shaky. Understandable coming into a new club. Cucurella, I think Cucurella has been a solid player as of
He's
now.
been good. Yeah,
He
he's
could
been
do
good.
more. He could do more, but again, his game is more of a left centre back thing. rather than an orthodox left wing back making those runs and all, which Chilwell got in against West Ham. So again, the West Ham performance, right? Too bad, too bad. A snooze fest. Like till we went the goal down, Chelsea are like we are happy with the draw or what. I don't know what that was, but I don't think so. Attacking game has been a problem for Chelsea only under Tuchel. I don't think so because any low line team, low block team, we have been suffering since Mourinho second season. Conte unlocked it with the wing back thing, but again, once the teams got the hang of it, we again suffered with the attacking threat. So I don't think so. It's only the manager or the tactics, but let's see how it goes under Graham Potter because I am optimistic for the sole fact that he's a brilliant manager and what he has done at Brighton. I hope he's a project manager. He is a project manager. You cannot expect him to win a cup in the first season. I'm fine with it. Maybe you're fine with it, not
Nah,
winning any trophy and just finishing in the top four. But we have been spoiled. We have been spoiled as Chelsea fans.
exactly.
And if I see Tuchel, it's his own curse for winning so much in the first half of his season. First half season,
And
he
I
won
mean,
everything.
yeah, yeah,
That's his own curse right now.
exactly. And teams know how to play against us now. At least before, used to be defensively solid. But why? We had a proper DM. Now we don't even have a proper DM. We're playing with makeshift DM, so to say. And teams know if you play a low block against if you play low block against Chelsea, they're not going to come through the middle. They're not going to do Reece James or the Cucurella or Chilwell and then cross and hope, and then hit them one on the counter attack, and their defense will be exposed because that's what
Our
exactly
defense,
happened against Zagreb.
since we don't have a DML, if Kante is out or even Kovacic is out, our defense has been exposed like anything.
Exactly. I mean, Zagreb game we saw one counter attack, we were exposed, and Wesley Fofana was beaten for pace by the guy who put three past Tottenham 2 years ago. Orsic, same guy.
Same guy.
And I don't know, man. It's just that I know the only thing Potter has in his advantage is he also plays three at the back at Brighton. So the fact we are hearing that he'll bring his own kind of director of football kind of thing who used to work with him in Ostersund, who used to work with him at Swansea.
I don't think so, director of football, but for scouting.
Scouting, yeah. Sorry, scouting. And Todd Bowley wants to bring in a director of football. Whether the both will be the same or they'll work in hand, or will they be again kind of clashing with each other? That's another matter to see. But like last few games, everyone knows how to play against Chelsea and beat us. It wasn't rocket science. I didn't understand why Tuchel bought someone like Ziyech and Pulisic. Ziyech was like, why am I even here? He was literally pushing for the Ajax move a few days ago.
But I think because he couldn't go out and Tuchel could see that the other players are also not performing, he just thought maybe if he gives a chance to Pulisic or Ziyech or whatever,
Yeah, because
they
he
would
literally had to. He had to. There was no choice. The only
exactly.
attack.
Mount
Yeah,
Havertz out of form, Aubameyang is just coming in. We
yeah.
don't have number nine for some reason. I don't
Tuchel and Aubameyang reunion lasted for 59 minutes.
exactly. The only again, I think another fact I would blame Tuchel was, but I still understand because Tuchel is not a manager to rush a player in,
Exactly.
regardless of his high profile. This guy, Armando Broja, is still a young guy, brilliant player, right? I think Tuchel does want him at the club. It's just that he missed majority of the preseason. Again, he got injured, I think, during the Leeds match. So to come in immediately, I don't think so was a proper thing.
Yeah.
He was slowly putting it. But the only fact which troubled me when Roja was playing was he was going out wide. I don't know why he was doing that and Sterling was staying in the center. That could be the tactics and not the player's choice. That is one thing. That
I
is
mean,
the
sometimes we are pumping long balls to a 5 foot Sterling.
exactly.
I
You would rather have Broja there, right? You would have Broja
exactly.
there. I don't know why Broja is going out wide and Sterling is staying in the center. Or even Havertz when Havertz is playing. Havertz is not a physical guy. You give
Yeah,
him the ball at his feet, he'll try to do something. But you
yeah,
cannot
exactly.
expect him to hold a ball like, say, Lukaku or Broja or Harry Kane or
He
whoever.
can win headers though. At least
He
you
can
can.
win
He
headers.
can win headers and he can do something with the ball. But he's like a feather touch. Feather touch and man literally goes
Yeah,
down.
exactly. His headers are also not accurate. Like, I think against I don't remember against who it was. So there was a situation where Chelsea all of a sudden were on a counter. It was 2 versus 2. One defender stuck with Havertz. One defender was behind covering for that, and Mount was making a run. Havertz, all he had to do was just head it in the space behind the defender who was closing him down, and Mount was 1v1 with the keeper because the other covering defender was out of position. But the header went for like behind Mount, and the whole attack stopped there. So these are also the basic things. Like Havertz is a tall guy, he wins headers, but sometimes he needs to be accurate as well. Like I think the only time these players set up and stepped up, like each and every player, even the subs, was against Spurs.
Only game.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. Same players, same coach,
I
same.
think it's just the fact that Tottenham, Arsenal, it's just the Tottenham. It's
But why can't you get that mentality every time? Not that
I don't
Spurs were
know.
attacking.
It's
Spurs were
because
also
we
playing.
used to be in that situation. Every time we were in bad run of form, Spurs come to town and we somehow slap them. I don't know how.
It's the other way around when Arsenal are in a bad form
Yeah,
and they face
exactly.
Chelsea.
Yeah. Arsenal or even Man United. We haven't beaten them since 2017, for God's sake.
So let's see. I just
Even in games, there are hell a lot of times when Reece James is running down that wing, expecting a long pass, and we are just delaying. You see Conor Gallagher delaying a pass, and Tuchel is like, go, 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 try to go long. And even against Zagreb, Kovacic is delaying passes. The midfield is delaying passes for our wing backs, which is which cannot be down to coach. I mean, come on, you are an international capped footballer who's playing at the highest level for Chelsea Football Club. You shouldn't need some things to be told to you, spoon fed to you by any manager. For God's sake, forward pass, quick ball. If that was De Bruyne, you would have found Reece James at least 3 or 4 times in that game because it's
no
De Bruyne.
like perfect because even last season I could see Warner making those n number of runs.
No one
No one was
spotting him.
able to find him. Then
And then why
Lukaku.
when they decided to find him, Werner's offside.
Exactly. The reason he's offside is because no one is finding his run on the right time.
And because he's so quick.
Exactly. You have see, but you have been training with the guy for more than a year. You know his attributes. He's nothing but speed, nothing else. But you know that fact, and still you're deciding not to utilize that speed. He's running in behind. He's put. No one is ready to put the through balls in. He's not the guy who will drop down and play passes around. He's not that player. I think the only reason he's now again doing well in Bundesliga is the massive space he has,
Yeah.
right? Plus, players are able to feed in the ball. Simple passes. All like last season, there was a moment where even this season, I think Sterling was running, and I think it was Mount or someone who was running with the ball.
Yeah.
All the player had to do was just release it to Sterling. He took that extra touch, released it to Sterling. By the time defender came and blocked it, I think it was the last West Ham game of itself. I think someone had done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, players like Gallagher, Mount, Jorginho, all these guys, Reece James and everyone, even if they are played out of position or whatever, I think they'll give their all on the pitch. So I'm not going to criticize them, right? Because we know for a fact, regardless of who the manager is, Mount will give anything for Chelsea Football Club, right? Reece James will do that. Jorginho, even since Sari left, he has been doing whatever he can, right? Gallagher is coming in, he has to prove something. So like Thiago Silva, all these players will do regardless of who the manager is because the passion they have. Yes, Mount is out of form. Jorginho gets run past, but I don't think so. We can ever criticize that they don't deserve to play, right? So I'm not blaming all players, but you could see the performances of. See, I want Pulisic at Chelsea. I'm not so sure about Ziyech right now because I was one of the guys who wanted Ziyech at Chelsea, and I was excited because of what he had done at Ajax. But you could see that his ego and Lukaku's ego is almost the same level. And if it's not going his way, he'll not do anything. You could see that
Exactly.
against Zagreb. Two free kicks, he overruled Region. Both he hit the wall, you're 1-0 down, right? Crosses are hitting the first man. It's just like he didn't
At
want
the
to play.
point, it was literally ZH would just cross and hope that someone gets in, because I agree the fact that he puts in some dangerous balls and
I think
probably
in the whole
some.
two good passes, two good passes through the cross, but that also again someone had to attack that. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but even that
And
fact,
the fact
ZH
that
will
he
get.
has only a left foot is what is also like kind of in like hindering his game.
But it makes you think, right? Marcos Alonso had only the left foot, but he was doing so much more as a wing back or a striker for us than any of our strikers were.
Yeah. The striker we never recognized.
Yeah, like like you see players, you go to any club, will do well. Haaland, everyone, all pundits were like, he's not going to work.
Dude, it's
Haaland is
Man
not going to.
City. If it was Chelsea, I would accept.
Yeah, how
Because
Haaland would
it's
have
Man
stuck back.
City, the way they play, expansive, he's gonna bag. I mean,
No,
he's already he has more goals this season than Chelsea Football Club. That says it all.
exactly. Because the way they create chances. See, all teams, I think, other than Liverpool, the other 18 teams play low lying against a low block against City. Yet, every match they're able to score 2 3 goals.
Easy.
Because the way they are coached, plus the players are ready to take some risk. You could like see Trent Alexander-Arnold spamming crosses when Liverpool play against low-lying teams. Spamming crosses. He'll just put a cross from anywhere and hope that someone reaches.
Exactly.
Majority of the time, it reaches someone.
Yeah.
Thiago, when he plays for Liverpool, he tries to put the through ball in. De
Yeah.
Bruyne, De Bruyne is there for City. Bernardo Silva, who will literally just
Gundogan.
get into players. He'll not put a pass in. He'll just drag 2 3 players out of position, run with the ball, maintain the ball, give it to De Bruyne or Gundogan. They will play one pass forward, done. These are the kind. So Sterling is one of that player who would attract defenders, and he was doing that even against the West Ham team. He was tracking players out of position. He was beating 2 players, 3 players. But again, the only thing is options ahead of the ball and someone to actually unlock a defense. We need that. And if you're not able to do that, just hope that we stay compact and don't concede goals. Because Tuchel completed 100 games against Zagreb, right? 100 games, first 50 games, we conceded around 13 goals.
20 something.
Around.
No, yeah, there was a stat. So first 50
Unless,
games he gets in 20 something goals. Last 50 games he gets in 53 goals.
like, something badly went wrong. I don't know
Yeah.
whether. Let's see. I'm not again now going to blame Todd Bowley or whatever. It's his. But the worst part, the statement in like the statement and the third paragraph of the statement that Ash Todd, like the new regime. Yeah, you have that. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what kind of statement is this? Just because
Exactly.
they finished 100 days, we need a change.
I mean,
What?
really? 100 days.
like like it's century मारा bat उठा रहे हो तुम लोग. It's like that kind of thing. Like, seriously, like that was totally uncalled for. Like they 100 days are completed, a new
I
thing
mean,
was
who
expected.
cares? 100 days, 10 days.
Yeah, you could have sacked him the moment you came here. Like the moment you came in, if you felt that he's not the right guy, the moment when Ronaldo was rejected, the moment when you fell out, your jet left, the moment when you couldn't sign Delhi, you fell out again.
Yeah, even
Sack him.
Marina and all those stuff.
Exactly, sack him that time. That time also it would have hurt Chelsea fans, but the way they have done it now is disgusting. Because right
Yeah,
now I just feel what Tuchel went through for the club, given what was going on in his personal life, is like too much. So, like, I'm not saying they should have kept him only for the fact like he was there with the club,
yeah,
right, through the tough time. That is not a thing. Like, especially at Chelsea, it's not a thing that just because you stuck by us through tough times, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
exactly.
But the way it has come out is sort of like disgusting in a way that we didn't respect the manager, right? We didn't. We sort of humiliated him in a way that you go on to spend 250 million and still sack him. It's 250 million gone now, and it would repeat the whole process if Graham Potter doesn't want these players. What if he doesn't want these players now? Same thing.
Yes.
What when Tuchel came in, he had to pick up player. The best part, what Todd and Tuchel have done together, is removing what happened in 2016-17 transfer window and 17-18 transfer window.
17, 18, yeah. At
Barkley
least,
gone, yeah, Barkley gone, Batshuayi gone, Morata gone earlier.
yeah,
Like
Drinkwater is gone. I mean, he was out of
Drinkwater,
contract anyway, so he would have gone.
but Barkley's contract was terminated.
Yeah,
Batshuayi's contract was terminated,
yeah,
right? Like so much good was happening as well. Like because of what happened those 5 years ago, 4 years ago,
yeah.
the next coaches suffered. Sari suffered, right? To be honest, I'm still sort of conflicted why Sari had to leave because he
And
wasn't sacked. I understand
he
it was the
wasn't sacked.
fans.
I mean, he was just
It
homesick.
was
He
the
just wanted to
fans.
go back. And then
Yeah,
after, I think in an interview, he said that he regretted that decision.
but it's just the fact that Chelsea fans just because he was playing a brand of football which sort of was boring, okay, because of the circulations, the repetitions which had to be done. Right? Yeah, but it worked, right? You all won the Europa League,
Yeah. And
but
we were
and but
sixth at a point of time, and we somehow came third, albeit that was a pretty shit top four race. And no one wanted to get in the top four. It was like Liverpool, Man City in one league, and then the four joker teams, all giving competition to each other, losing left, right, and center.
but still understandable, right? The team was good. It was
Yeah, we came
defensively
third. I mean,
solidified. The team was good. The defense was solidified again under Sari, and Jorginho was playing his best football because of the way it was built around him, right? And just I don't know, like everyone wants to see attractive football, right? The way City play, the way Liverpool play, now Brighton are playing. Everyone wants to see that, but Chelsea is not that club who will
exactly.
play attractive football every time. You have to just dig in, hope for the best at some matches because we are not City Liverpool yet. There were times when we played beautiful football under Lampard, beautiful football under Tuchel.
Yeah,
It's time. It takes time. Same Sari wasn't given. He was given by the management but not by the fans. That is why he decided to leave. And
yeah,
obviously, I think the whole thing and other things, but I don't know. Man. So it's just like the best post I saw other than one was so outside the Chelsea gate over
yeah. The
there in the
circus
back.
continues. Yeah, this
And
was
I
when Lampard was sacked. So,
uh,
and it was like, I don't know. I mean, we are seeing Roman Abramovich part two, but even Roman wouldn't have sacked him after 7 games.
See,
however bad
for
it is. I mean, the only thing I could think of is, as we said at the first part of the video, it's way beyond just the performances. Because even though you have bad performances, you don't get sacked after 7 games. It's much more than that. It's player power, and when you see the player wages getting paid out these days, I mean, 200K, 250K. I mean, that's not even the yearly salary of some of a normal working
so I guess
middle class person.
the best part. So yesterday, I think Kiera was one of Man City women players' best talent, especially in England. I think she won the Euros as well.
Yeah, yeah,
To Barcelona, women, obviously another legendary team,
of course.
and record transfer fee for a women's player. Record transfer fee.
Yeah.
And the best part is the record transfer fee is 400k. 400k. That 400k, okay, that 400k, Romelu Lukaku would have earned within 1.5 weeks. Within 1.5 weeks.
Not even 1.5 weeks.
350k
One and
he
a
was
half
paid.
weeks, meaning it's 1.5 weeks, it's 500K. He was earning like
More
325
than,
bags a week.
yeah, like almost 500k he would have earned by that time.
And that's not even
And
Ronaldo's
this
wage
season,
per week.
Todd Bowley were ready to go him 400k for him. I don't know why. Like Tuchel didn't want him, the fans didn't want him. Take a
Exactly.
hint that other clubs didn't want him,
Exactly.
right?
Why was he
I
so
understand what
persistent? I want Ronaldo. I mean,
the
maybe
marquee
he's just
signing he
another
wanted.
American
He
owner who
wanted that
wants to
one
do shirt
mark.
sales and
But I don't know why he was obsessed with that fact. He like wanted a one marquee signing, be like, okay, now the new ownership has come in, signed Ronaldo, what a big statement and all that. But again, I think this is Roman Abramovich's curse because the standard he has set, like Roman Abramovich, Todd Bowley to reach that standard is going to take time. He needs to understand that because Chelsea
exactly.
will give him, the fans will give him time. He does not need to do everything in the first season itself. Like I'm still disturbed by that fact. 100 days ago, so you decide to change a manager.
I mean, the fact that it's on a club statement as we near 100 days. I mean, is it a film or
If
what?
you,
We're running 100
if
days in
you
theaters.
exactly, if you want to change the whole old regime, as we may call it, right? Firstly, don't take the same approach, right?
Exactly.
Don't take the same approach. But chalo, I again, their thinking must be different what we are thinking, right? They wanted a change in regime, which is understandable. Do it when nothing is at stake. When nothing is at stake. Do it before the start of the season, before you make signings in the transfer window. You should have got sacked. If you had to do it, you would have sacked Tuchel then. You would have gotten a director of football who would have recommended a manager, recommended players along with the manager. Now what is happening is just because, so basically to Todd Bowley's scouting and analyst team had recommended Ronaldo, right, for Chelsea because of his metrics and attributes and stuff.
No, that was not Ronaldo. That was Anthony Gordon, I think.
Sorry, Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon, yeah.
No denying the fact that he's a brilliant player for Everton at least. But to see that 50 million on a guy who's yet to actually prove himself. He's good. Potential is too good. But he's yet to prove himself. So, regardless of the fact that it's good that Todd Bowley is doing all this analysis and everything, and then you're getting in signings. But I don't think so. None of the players, none of the people involved on top are little kids, right? 5 years old, 6 years old, who are like, "Arey, chocolate nahi mila, so I'm pissed." Like you, just because you don't get a few players of your choice, Tuchel said no because they don't fit
Fit
in
this
his
system.
system. You don't go and take it on your ego and be like, "No, bro, I'm the owner. I'm going to spend more money, and these are the players you need to play with." And this was the problem what happened in 2017-18. We spent random money. During quarter season, we spent 50 million and everything. Barkley, I think around 30-40 million.
No, no,
I don't
no.
know why.
So Barkley was 15 million. Yeah. So Bakayoko was 40.
See,
Drinkwater was
hmm,
35. Morata was around 50. The only thing I don't consider
exactly.
that is we at least got the money back for him. That was which was Marina
That
tax.
was like Marina master class. She
I
somehow
mean that,
managed
but
to get.
Morata's been a money laundering scheme. But Morata's
Yeah,
been money laundering scheme all over Europe, nah.
it's like his 50-40 million price is set for every club, regardless
Exactly.
of what club you are playing. Like it's set, bro. तेरे को 40 million का तेरा setting करने का है, take Morata. Give us the
Exactly.
money, we'll again sell it to someone else. अरे But again, I just now want to say on record again that Tuchel as a manager was and is going to be one of the most respected managers. I went on and made a bold statement on Twitter that he's one of the managers along with Jose Mourinho who was a proper Chelsea guy, right?
Facts.
He Ancelotti, Mourinho. Ancelotti sacking, I still don't get. I think the last video when Todd Bowley came in, sorry, when Abramovich left and we did a video, we spoke about Ancelotti sacking and everything.
Yeah.
I still don't understand that. But yeah, these three guys in the Roman Abramovich area are the proper Chelsea managers I consider. You may say that yes, Sari was good, Conte won us a league double and everything, but I think these three people defined Chelsea. Maybe Ancelotti not so much for because of his personality, the calm personality who would actually not engage in anything other than football.
Yeah.
But Mourinho and Tuchel are perfect for Chelsea, and I think being a top manager to be dismissed in such a way is just bad. But again, now that it has happened, we have to deal with that fact as the circus continues and hope for a fact that this decision pays off because otherwise, Todd Bowley is going to be another Ed Woodward or someone like that, where fans are not going to back him at all, regardless of the money he has spent. So let's hope that we as Chelsea fans are able to give Graham Potter time because I don't expect him to do anything in his first season. If he does, like brilliant, I'll obviously take it. But we need to deal with the fact that even though we are spoiled that every season we win something or something like that, like finals. Under Tuchel, we reached so many finals, three penalty shootouts against Liverpool, I think. All three lost. I don't think.
No, it
Sorry,
was two
one
against.
against
No, it
one.
was two against Liverpool. One was Carabao, one was FA.
Yeah, one under Lampard. Sorry, one under
Yeah, one under
Lampard, two
Lampard,
under.
and then Leicester one.
You think you're losing on penalties? I don't think so. That can be coached. It's
Exactly.
like Tuchel could have had two more trophies that way. Two more
Easily.
trophies,
Yeah.
right?
At least two more out of the three.
But regardless of the fact the legacy leaves behind, I think in a short period he was there is a large legacy, a large one, like the one Mourinho left, and he at least for the fans will always be the Chelsea guy. We
Exactly.
still consider Mourinho. We still consider Mourinho that even when he was as a sports manager at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea fans were singing for him. So he's going to be that Chelsea guy. And I just hope that he just comes out of this. And I hope as a club, we now see Chelsea turning and performing consistently and not only for the manager bounce thing. Like players, all of a sudden, in the next 5 games, we'll have 5 wins, right? We'll top of the table. All of a sudden, World Cup goes, December comes in, and we go back to our own form. Where December, January, we royally screw up. So let's just hope that Todd knows what he's doing. I hope he knows what he's doing. As long as he's the club owner and I see some sense in what he's doing, I'll back him now. But again, I think we cannot get attached to any manager, regardless of
Exactly.
the fact whether he has a long-term contract.
Yeah, exactly. So Todd Bowley he kind of was similar with the LA Dodgers. He was ruthless. He was splashing in the money, but he transformed the Dodgers around into a totally different team. And now Dodgers are probably one of the best teams in Major League
That's
Baseball.
that's I'm backing Todd. I'm not saying that why the hell is he doing this, or why he's at the club. I'm not questioning that. I'm just questioning his decision of sacking Tuchel. But again, I told you start of the episode that understandable with the thought process he came in with, but the timing of it was all wrong for
Exactly.
that thought process, right? And the last, I think the current LA Dodgers coach is also there for the last 7 years, which Todd Bowley hopes is Graham Potter.
Yeah,
And I hope for Graham Potter's sake, I hope for his sake, forget about Chelsea for a moment. I
exactly.
hope for his sake, he is that guy. Because you see Brighton, the first 2 seasons under him, I think this was his third season, and
Yeah, something like that.
the first season, poor, even though they did well. Last season, wasteful in attack, right? That XG thing, right? XG joke which was flying around, where they were high XG but scoring none, but
Exactly.
brilliant performances around the ground. And now it was paying off. They are scoring left, right, and center.
Exactly. I
This is
mean,
what
you have play. I
uh,
mean, they're scoring with Danny Welbeck, Christian Gross, Neil Maupai before he. I mean, imagine selling Neil Maupai, Cucurella,
Bissouma,
Bissouma, and all these players, and still playing super sexy sauce football.
like his signings, like 10 million signings, 15 million signings, have all paid off like anything. Even the like the surprise signing or the panic signing what Chelsea was going to make on deadline day was Southampton's
Latvia,
Lavi,
Lavia, yeah,
Lave.
Latvia or
He
Latvia.
came he came into the club this season. You cannot expect Southampton to sell him on deadline day for even 100 million. I
Exactly.
would,
I think it's like he scored against us, so let's just buy him.
yeah. Like, so that's why I hope that we as fans are patient now, okay? Because see, I want the trophy this season itself as a fan, whether it's FA Cup or Carabao Cup or whatever.
I don't care
But
less.
yeah, I
Even if we
still
dropped
don't.
out from the Champions League to the Europa League and we somehow managed to win the Europa League, I'll take that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we still have to be patient and understand that we might not get any trophy this season. We
Yes.
have to understand that as Chelsea fans and be ready to deal with it because I'm pretty sure the way the Chelsea fan base is, Graham Potter, if in the first 5 games doesn't perform, you will see Graham Potter out trending on Twitter.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure. The way
I
Tuchel
won't even
was
say. I
the
won't even
past,
say like. I mean, I won't even say they would say blame Graham Potter. It would be more like Todd or more on Todd Bowley. I mean, what was the point of sacking
exactly.
Tuchel? Because you can't even blame Graham Potter. I mean, yes, he did great things at Brighton, but here first 5 games, you can't even blame him. It would be more. There would be more heat on Bowley rather than on Potter. I feel.
But it's that only. So we now need to see, just deal with this grief that Tuchel has left and just get out and back Todd Bowley for now. The way we did Abramovich when he sacked all the managers he has, right? We still back Abramovich because we knew what he was doing. Let's give benefit of the doubt to Todd Bowley now because we'll require some time to process it, some more time to process this whole shit what
Facts.
has happened and gone down, right? But now that it's done, the Chelsea DNA is back on again because this is what Chelsea has been. Let's just back the owner for now at least and hope that Graham Potter is what Todd Bowley sees and what we want to see because Graham Potter has the potential but he requires time. I just hope that again. I read rumors that in January Todd is ready to spend more. I just hope before that we have outgoings. By outgoings, I mean if Pulisic doesn't want to stay, understandable. CH doesn't want to stay, understandable. I'll respect that fact. Kepa doesn't want to stay, I understand that. Right? These are three players who could leave, right? These are the three players who could leave, and I just hope that players like Mendy, players like Mount, Koulibaly, Jorginho all start to show up now. All need to show up. All the whole Chelsea squad, the whole Cobham building is now responsible and has to take it on their shoulder to show what Chelsea is all about, regardless of the fact who the manager is. Because even if I don't win a cup this season, I'm fine as a Chelsea fan. But if I see that I'm not winning anything and to finish out of the top four or even the top six and not competing for the finals or whatever, I don't think so. I can accept that fact. I'm fine with no trophies, but I need to see some progression. So Graham Potter has big shoes to fill, which is again a curse for Graham Potter as well because he's a likable guy and he's a brilliant guy. He's a brilliant manager. I just hope that for both Chelsea and him, it pays off.
And on that note, we'll probably end our 1 hour, 1+hour rant or analysis or whatever you want to call it. We could go on.
Surprisingly, the cuss words are limited. Even though we held us for 1 hour, the cuss words are very limited.
I
Because
mean,
I think
probably if we had probably if we had recorded this 14 hours ago, we would have
the,
been left, right, and center.
the moment you woke up, you saw like Tuchel is sacked, you couldn't see for the next 2 hours. I was at work, I was doing some work, I read, okay, Tuchel sacked. And my mind went blank, right? Went blank. The whole way coming back from my work, home, blank. Whole last night, blank. Like you're not able to think anything. That is what happened when someone like Lampard left for me because obviously Lampard a legend and for many of
Exactly.
us he's like the role model. If you are playing football, people like Terry, Drogba, Lampard are the people you see up to, you look up to, and to see
Facts.
him as your hero to come to Chelsea under transfer ban, do a good job of finishing top four consistently, competing for Super Cup and everything. Good. But when he was sacked again, the circus continued, which was understandable because that I think I knew that was sacking was going to come. So it was I was able to deal with that fact a bit better than I'm able to deal with this fact right now.
And on that note, I think Graham Potter will probably announce today or tomorrow. There are
Yeah.
talks that he will be announced before the Fulham game. So we
So
hope
will he be
we.
on the sidelines? Will he be on the sidelines if he's
I think he'll
announced?
probably be sitting upstairs. If he's announced, I think he'll be probably sitting upstairs, just seeing around what's
Or
going
maybe
there.
I think if he's announced today,
Probably like how
I think
Aubameyang
today,
was seeing over Chelsea, over
yeah,
the West Ham game. I think he'll be probably sitting over there, seeing over what's going through and all, and then he'll be
or
in charge
probably
for
if
the
he's announced today,
RB
he might
Salzburg game.
he might take a session tomorrow and he will be on the sidelines.
Probably,
Don't
I don't know. Depends on when we announce. It all depends on when we announce it because the Fulham
if
game
you
is only
announce
2 days away, and
yeah,
yeah, so it's
if you
like
announce today, and I think the right now it's what, early morning in England, in
yeah,
London. So I think if it announced in the first half, he might be able to take a session in the second half of the day if
yeah,
he's immediately
probably,
ready.
yeah,
Like how Tuchel came in and the first day and then he was in the on the touchline. I think
yeah,
something like that could happen.
yeah. It could
So
happen, but we wait to
this
see how
Green
that
Cottage
happens.
game that everyone was already nervous about, right? The best thing what has happened is now no one gives a shit about it. Now no one gives a shit about this game. Like all Chelsea fans will just be watching for the sake of it. No one is going to be invested in the match, I feel.
Exactly, and it's like we just hope and pray that all goes well. Um, you would think that Todd Bowley is kind of doing a madness now. I know you want to put a stamp on this team. It's your first football team, so to say. But I just hope he knows what he's doing. That's it. It might sound rubbish now, but at the end of the day, if it works, this move will be hailed as a genius move. So we can only wait and see. And on that note, we'll probably close this. It's about 11:30 right now, and I have work tomorrow as well. And he's also about to log into work. So make sure to like this stream, make sure to subscribe, make sure to subscribe to the Fanspire as well. I'm sure they will be doing shows as well throughout the course of the season, be it football, World Cup, Premier League, La Liga, etc. So make sure to subscribe to the Fanspire as well. Make sure to hit the bell symbol to it whenever I go for videos like this. It gives you an instant notification. And make sure to stay safe as always and wash them hands. Thank you, Vineet. Bye. Hopefully, we don't line like this again sometime soon. Maybe 2 years later, but at least for now, we'll.
Same episode 2 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Take care. Thank you.
Also, but I hope not that time also.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Thanks, man.